I don't know why, but telling my story, whenever I tell my cancer story, it's always like such a hard thing for me to like tell, just because like I've been through a lot and I've had cancer twice. I've lost my leg and I've almost died like twice, and I've looked death in the eye, and I've looked at cancer and said, no, not today. But I kind of just want this to be, like a fun little cancer story. Like, I don't know, but I want it to be, just everything that I've been through. But anyway, look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. But I guess the way to start the story is just how it all began. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No, I'm sorry. Everything really started in summer of 2016. I've been an athlete my whole life, and whenever you have any sort of pain at all, you kind of just brush it off. You don't really think much of it. And in summer of 2016, when I was experiencing knee pain, I didn't think much of it. I just took some pain meds, iced it, elevated it, and I was good to go. My coaches thought I was trying to get out of practice, and they weren't wrong. I was trying to skip practice. My knee was hurting, honestly, and I just brushed it off. But after about 2 months of doing that, there was all of a sudden, there's just this huge lump on my knee that my mom notices one day. First week of junior year of high school, all of a sudden I can't walk anymore, and now I'm in a wheelchair, and now I'm like, okay, my knee must be pretty messed up that I can't walk anymore, so like, let's get this checked out. So we got the x-ray on Friday, and that whole weekend my parents are just quiet. It's probably because they knew the news first before I did. On Monday, I get a CAT scan, bone scan, brain scan, MRI, and me being 15 at the time, like, oh yeah, my knee must be really messed up. Like, why a brain scan for my knee? Pfft, whatever. The next day, I get sat into this room full of doctors, and they sit me down and they say, you have osteosarcoma, other known as bone cancer, and you have stage 2 cancer. You have a 60% chance that you're gonna die and a 40% chance that you're gonna live. So the odds were not in my favor, but I was in shock. You get bone cancer at such a young age, and you honestly don't really know what to do with yourself other than live the life that's being taken away from you. So I went to school the next day just because I didn't want to go to chemo, and as much as I wanted to pack my bags and just go on a trip and leave and just avoid chemo for the rest of my life, I probably would die. So I couldn't do that. Went to school for I think the next week and a half, and just try to enjoy little things in my life before I had to be in the hospital for the next 9 months, for the next 17 sessions. Chemo sucked. I shaved my head to take control of cancer and, to really take control of the situation, the cliche thing, shaved my head, and it really backfired because I shaved my head early, and I didn't realize that chemo takes your hair, not cancer. So I shaved my head earlier than I was supposed to, then I actually ended up losing more hair than I thought.
Still coming out. I have a bald spot.
There wasn't really a good part of chemo that I could remember. It kills your body to cure your body. It was even worse for me because chemo wasn't working. Because 2 months into chemo, the doctor tells me, past 2 months, your tumor has not been affected by chemo. You have to make this decision now if you want to do a knee replacement or amputation. At the time, not knowing what to do, I went to my parents and I asked them, like, what should I do? Should I keep my leg? Should I amputate it? What I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do? I'll never forget when my dad sat me down and he told me, like, yes, 15, and this is your life, but we can't make this decision for you. Like, this is your life, So all we can do as parents is introduce you to people that have these things, and you make the decision from there. So I met people that had both. I met people that had a knee replacement, and I met people that had amputation. And the first question I asked these people, can you run? Can you bike? Can you swim? Can you go on a hike? Can you do these things that I want to do? Because this is the lifestyle that I want to live. They told me that they couldn't really do that with the knee replacement. They couldn't be as active as they wanted to be, or they couldn't do the things that they wanted to do. And they had all these limitations in their life. I'm like, I don't want that, honestly. I want to just be able to live my life with no issues. I met this girl, her name was Alex, and she was 13 years old. She had osteosarcoma, she was missing a leg, same story as me, same name, so weird, right? She runs, she bikes, she swims, she does horseback riding, she does everything that I want to do, and like 10 times better. Like, oh my gosh, like, you're so inspiring. Like, I want to do that, and I want to lose my leg, like, cut it off right now. But you would think it was a clear decision on what I wanted to do at the time, and it honestly wasn't. I was still stuck between this big crossroads in my life, and I didn't know what to do. So I flipped a coin. Not the brightest idea, but spoiler alert, I cut off my leg. It's gonna beep for a second, just hold on. Can you see it? Focus, please. This is the coin that changed my life forever, and it says, go confidently in the directions of your dreams, live the life you have imagined. And what I told myself is that whatever this coin lands on, I am choosing, no matter what. I made like a blood oath with myself. And this side was knee replacement, this side was amputation, and I flipped it, and it landed on knee replacement. Well, looks like I'm keeping my leg, but I honestly sat there for a while, and I'm like, that's not something that I want to do. So I chose amputation, and thank God I did, because they were originally going to be cutting right above my knee. They had to cut a lot higher because my cancer was spreading. My surgeon told me that if I chose knee replacement, I wouldn't be here today, because he would have never seen the cancer that was moving up my leg. So the way that I see life now is that if you're ever stuck between a 50-50 situation, flip a coin. because by the time it's in the air, you know exactly what you want it to land on. I ended up losing my leg on December 1st, 2016. And after that, I was just 5 months left of chemo and dealing with my disability now and learning how to walk again, just waiting until I get to that last session of chemo. And once I did, and the nurses made the sign for me and signed it all and sent me off on my way, I beat cancer for the first time on May 22nd, 2017. It's actually been 7 years now? 7 years now. Wow. You're wondering why I said the first time. Well, the thing is because you don't beat cancer until you hit your 5-year mark of remission. So every 3 months you get your scans, and I'd always get a phone call saying, hey Alex, you're good to go, you're cancer free. You always get these scans saying that you're cancer free. The thing with osteosarcoma too is that it loves to spread through the lungs. So that's the one spot that they always check. So every 3 months I'd always get the bone scan, MRI, CAT scan, all these different scans to make sure that I'm cancer free. My second set of scans of 2017 was in November, and they tell me, like, Alex, you do your lung scan, but you have 4 dots on your lungs that could potentially be cancer. And I'm freaking out because you're telling me I have 4 dots in my lungs that could be cancer. What am I supposed to do with that info? Like, am I just supposed to be like, oh yeah, whatever? My surgeon told me if you want to do surgery, we can, or if you don't want to do surgery, we can wait 3 months and potentially see what it could be. No hesitation, surgery, cut me open right now. And the thing with lung surgery is that if my shirt is my skin, they have to slice you open, pull your skin. The doctor has to put his hand in and everything and just feel a really cool scar. They told me we found 3 out of the 4 dots. We found old cancer cells, lymph nodes, and like old scar tissue. What about the one that got away? And my surgeon tells me, he's like, we tried everything we could. We extended the surgery, we moved everything around, and we just couldn't find that 1 dot. And I asked my doctor, is that cancer? Like, will I know? And my surgeon told me, he's like, well, there's honestly no way to know, so we kind of just have to wait and see. So for the next 6 months, from November to June, for my next set of scans, I'm kind of just on like the waiting game and like the guessing game on this big mystery item on what this thing's gonna be. Let me just not worry about it. I'll deal with it when I get there if it is cancer, and if it's not, thank God. So I just lived my life as a senior in high school. I was trying to be as healthy as I could be to make sure my cancer would never come back. My first set of scans were clear and I was good. I'm like, all right, solid. And my second set of scans were the week before graduation. You know, I walked the stage, I make it to a point where I never even thought I'd be. I never even thought I'd make it this far. Graduate, we go to Disneyland for the night. I get back, like, this is great. You know, we're living life. And I get that phone call. And the doctor tells me, he's like, Alex, you need to come in tomorrow. And they never tell me that. They always say, Alex, you're cancer free, you're good to go. And they never say, Alex, you gotta come in tomorrow. So I am just upset. I already know it's gonna be bad news because they never tell me that. Go in, room full of doctors once again. And I hear those 3 words that I never thought I'd hear again, which were, you have cancer. They sit me down and they say, you have stage 4 lung cancer, you have 3 months left to live, a 10% chance, and you're declared terminal. So there I am, the day after graduating high school, at 17. I have 3 months left to live, I have stage 4 lung cancer. This is great. I'm in a very bad spot at this time because you're being told that you're gonna die. Like, how else are you supposed to react to that sort of news? When it came down to treatment, there was honestly only 2 options. Chemotherapy didn't work the first time because that's why I had to amputate my leg, because it wasn't affecting it. So the only options that I had were clinical trials. There's a clinical trial in California and there's a clinical trial in New York. The one in California is only going to accept me into the treatment if I keep the tumor inside of me. And New York is only going to accept me if I take the tumor out of me. And the thing with these treatments is that there's no guarantee it's gonna work. There's no guarantee I'm gonna be accepted. So I'm kind of just rolling my dice with fate. And the cherry on top, my surgeon tells me, if you want to do surgery for New York, you have to do surgery tomorrow because I'm gonna be on vacation for 3 weeks. And the only other surgeon that can do this surgery is retiring because he has shaky hands. And I look at this surgeon, I'm like, you're telling me you're gonna be in Cancun sipping on a margarita while I'm dying? And the only other person that could do this is Mr. Shaky over here? And I'm so mad. I'm dying and now I have to deal with this? Are you kidding me? Screw it. Let's do surgery. I'm not gonna risk this cancer being inside of me. So I did surgery the next day and I am just waiting for a phone call that's gonna determine if I'm gonna survive or not. So every single phone call that I get from family, I'm just hanging up because I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna survive. And I didn't tell anyone from high school that I was diagnosed again because all I saw on social media was, congrats, we graduated, we're starting this new chapter in our life. And I didn't want to be like, hey guys, I'm dying. I didn't want to tell anyone. So I kind of kept it under wraps and I just told a select few of people that needed to know. And you know, while all my friends and classmates were getting phone calls or letters from colleges to determine their future, I was waiting for a phone call to see if I would even have a future. About a month of waiting went by and I finally get a phone call, Sloan & Kettering, New York, saying that I got accepted into immunotherapy treatment. And I was just speechless because this was a phone call that was gonna determine if I was gonna survive. So I ended up doing immunotherapy for 6 months. I'd go to New York for about a week and a half and come back for 3 weeks. And I beat cancer again on January 11th, 2019. So I am super happy to be here, and I'm just super grateful. And everyone always asks me like, how do I stay so positive? I wake up every day and I don't have cancer, and to me that's a beautiful day. Like that's all that matters to me. Super grateful to be here. I never thought I would be here today. I didn't think I'd even see the end of the year. I defied the odds and I was a part of that 10% chance. Cancer just taught me so much over the past however many years, and I'm extremely grateful that I got it, which is so weird to say, but I've just learned so much from it, and I've learned to appreciate the little things in life now. I've learned to just live every single day with a smile, because life is too short to not appreciate the little things in life. So I'm extremely grateful to be here, and I'm just happy to be alive. So here's to living.